What's up, my knights? Log Dragonite here, and today is going to be part 2 to what if Dragonite was in Naruto. So, before the video, I happen to apologize, guys. That doesn't mean not making videos. I was just enjoying my little vacation since I don't have to deal with online schooling anymore. So, with that out of the way, let's get into it. Last time we let off of Kano, and Jiraiya headed to the Hidden Leaf Village. Let's get back to that. As they're halfway from where Jiraiya found Kano, Jiraiya asks a sudden question. So, Kano, I also heard through the grapevine that you are a Furin Jutsu expert. And Kano says, not to brag, but yeah, I'm good at Furin Jutsu. Sue? Why? Kano asks with a raised eyebrow. Jiraiya says, well, I don't know if you know this or not, but an ex-teammate of mine, Jiraiya was hesitant to continue further. Kano says, let me guess. Stupidly made a seal that basically is kind of like a overpowered drug, but he may separate bits of his soul into the seal to control his subjects. Kano asked with a raised eyebrow. Jiraiya said, pretty close. Yes. Kano just shrugs, saying, one of the bounties I got was for the Hidden Sun Village, which, by the way, your teammate runs. At this, Jiraiya freezes, not discovering this sooner. No. But then Kano says, luckily, Orochimaru didn't realize it was one of my clones that was picking up the bounty. All the fact I managed to liberate some assets. Jiraiya said, what kind of assets? It's Kano said, just a couple scrolls on wing style and medical jutsu techniques. Maybe the odd genjutsu scroll or two. No. And Jiraiya asked, what genjutsu scrolls did you actually get? I think you'll like this one. I got Hour of Death, Earth, Cherry Blossoms, and oddly enough, of Snake Eye. I get those genjutsus from Orochimaru without him noticing. Meaning, Jiraiya Zenaiba said, I haven't heard of some of these genjutsus before. Or, says, not surprising considering that they're Uzumaki genjutsu. At this, Jiraiya just stops walking, kind of walks a few steps forward, but then turns. And Jiraiya says, care to repeat that? Kano said, they're Uzumaki genjutsu. I may be 1/4 Uzumaki, 3/4 Kenobi, but I still care about my Uzumaki heritage. So, they are very close to the village now, but they stayed a night in the wild. As they set up camp, Jiraiya then asked a serious question. Kano, have you heard any information about a group called the Akatsuki? Kano nods, saying, yes, in fact, they tried to recruit, one of the members tried to recruit me, but I politely refused. Even point out the fact that unless they have good reasons, they figure a way to remove a tail beast from its host without killing it, I will not be a part of them. And Jiraiya raised an eyebrow, saying, and they just left you alone. Yes. That reminds me, Kano goes to his bag. His bag has 3 seals on it. That each seal holds a different thing. He goes to the bottom seal of the 3, taps it twice. In a big folder comes out information. And hands it to him, saying, give that when you report the low 3rd. Besides, it might make him more willing to allow my clan to set foot in Konoha. To move to Konoha. Yeah. As well as he produces another photo, basic information of my clan. Common information my clan had. And that was public information. At least, for where I'm from, it's public information. I don't know if it was public in the elemental nations. Jiraiya is about saying, you acting as if your clan moved outside the elemental nations. Kano said, yes, we did move out of the elemental nations. And Jiraiya then asks, so what's it like out there? Old Jiraiya, if you knew what was going on there, you would think the Third Great Shinobi War was like a picnic. He said. At this, Jiraiya froze. Since he's been in two wars, he understands it. But then, Kano nonchalantly mentions, by the way, I had an interesting rumor. Huh? Jiraiya says, oh? Yes, apparently Orochimaru is planning to attack Konoha, your godson, and is witnessing his first tuning exams at 13. And a half. At 12 and a half. At this, Jiraiya is shocked. And Kano said, that's part of the information in the folder. Let's rest. So, both go to bed. They head to the Hidden Leaf Village. Jiraiya sends them both in. And Kano says, I'm gonna go pick up Naruto. So, go into Ninja Academy, see if I can get Naruto. I'm gonna get Naruto out of that place. Besides, remember how I said he didn't train at all? Jiraiya nods. Well, even though he didn't train, he should have passed the first time, but he was blatantly sabotaged. And if I guess now, he's gonna be sabotaged again. Jiraiya is still angry about what Kano told him. How the third never told him in any letters when Jiraiya asked for it. Plus, Kano says, I'm pretty sure some of the money you've been sending him has been taken by the greedy civilian council. How are they still in power? I don't know, especially given the fact that they technically committed treason. At this, Jiraiya said, what do you mean? And a couple Jonin, tuning, and hidden armor warriors as well said, last time I checked, there was a law made by second Hokage that limits the civilian power during peacetime, and only have the power they currently have now during wartime. Let me ask, how long ago was the war? Or ended? Jiraiya thinks about it. About 16 years or so. Oh. Then I say, then they've been overstepping their authority and causing treasonous acts. Plus, they've been bombing the third Hokage with paperwork. I mean, there is a way to beat paperwork. I'm surprised that no one's figured it out. And Jiraiya said, and what would that be? All of a sudden, you just see smoke pop up. It's Jiraiya, and you see two shadow clones. And Kano said, pretty simple when you think about it. Shadow clones. At this, Jiraiya just smacks his forehead and says, this would help so much better with my spine network. Like, Kano nods, says, I'm gonna go pick up Naruto. See ya, Jiraiya. As Kano starts walking to the Ninja Academy. Well, Jiraiya body flickers to the Third Hokage's office, and let's just say Jiraiya is pissed. When Jiraiya barges in, he basically grabs the Third Hokage by his shirt, lifts him up, says, now then, Sarutobi-sensei, what exactly were you going to tell me about my godson? That's when Jiraiya noticed in the room with the clan heads. Except Danzo, because he's not the clan head. He is clan head, but he's also part of the advisory council, so it's just clan heads in the meeting. Ding. And so the Hiruzen goes, Jiraiya, what are you talking about? And Jiraiya says, I'm talking about the fact that I found out from a complete stranger what's been going on with my godson, even though you haven't been telling me in the letters. At this, Hiruzen was right-eyed, and Jiraiya holds up a finger and says, before that, he slaps the two folders down, we need to talk. And before Hiruzen could speak, Jiraiya flashes through hand signs and does this sealing art. Barrier. Let me actually look at the name of it because I forgot what it's called. The old advanced sealing barrier. Now there's another technique, a seal like that called the Keeper of Secrets, but only Kano knows it, and Naruto will know that. Anyway, while that meeting's going on, because sausage information, if I'm not mentioning what's going on there, I apologize, guys, but I want to keep it in suspense for later chapters. Because, anyway, Kano gets to the Ninja Academy and see that they're practicing kunai and shuriken throwing. Just as Naruto is about to go up, Kano suddenly appears right behind Naruto, just as he's about to throw, and Kano just grabs his wrist. Everyone there, shocked, and has, hold on there. Hold it. Kano basically moves Naruto's body in the proper position to throw kunai and shuriken. Say, there we go. Wait. Kano looks over to the right and says, which one of you is Iruka? Kano asked. And Iruka steps forward, says, that would be me. And Kano said, who was the one who taught Naruto these stances? And Iruka raises her eyebrows, says, what do you mean? The stances were wrong and correct. Not only that, but Kano holds up one of the kunai and shuriken in his hand. These are display kunai and shuriken, which means they wouldn't even stick to the target. Plus, the weight wouldn't actually be real. At this Iruka gets pissed. Mainly because the fact that someone was sabotaging Naruto without him knowing it. And Kano said, that also reminds me. Naruto, please do your taijutsu stance. Naruto gets into his stance, and Naruto says, why are you asking me this? As he's confused at who this stranger is. And Kano said, let me introduce myself. My name is Kano Uzumaki Kenobi. Everyone is shocked there when they heard the Uzumaki name. And before Naruto responds saying, who taught you this taijutsu stance? And Naruto said, Mizuki sensei. Okay. At this, Kano froze, saying, Mizuki. Would that be the same Mizuki apparently working with the snake hidden in the grass? Yes. At this, Iruka froze, and the two couple Anbu, who were watching the Naruto, froze as well, but when they realized they had a meaning of his words, they basically caught Mizuki and brought him to interrogation. And Kano said, well, since I got rid of your assistants, Iruka, allow me to teach. So, while teaching, Kano properly corrected Naruto how to throw kunai and shuriken, even managed to give Naruto a new kunai and shuriken pouch, along with 20 shuriken and 20 proper kunai. And Naruto's score of usually getting 2 out of 10 jumped to 7 to 8 out of 10. And everyone notices jump in skill. And Kano says, if I was a betting man, I would say that people have been putting genjutsu on your test as well. Thus making you get bad grades on it. And then Kano says, Iruka, question. What was Naruto's test scores on his last 2 tests? Graduating exams? Iruka on top of her head gives the scores, and Kano said, then why hasn't he graduated yet? But Kano said with a raised eyebrow. Iruka said, but he failed the clone portion. And Iruka said, so? There is a genin who strictly fights in taijutsu who passed, so why couldn't Naruto pass? Us. And, of course, in the crowd, this is currently Neji, Lee, and Tenten's age group, mind you, because Naruto jumped ahead a grade to try to pass, and there's 3 months left before they actually graduate. Lee actually steps up and asks, what do you mean, Shinobi-san? And Kano said that you, kid, cannot use chakra anyway because someone intentionally damaged your chakra network when you were a baby. Based on the damage, however, you only could do tree walking and water walking, but you can't do any elemental ninjutsu. However, jutsu like the hedge, substitution, and body flicker, you can do. Maybe even summoning if you're lucky. Okay, get enough control for that. At this, Lee looks excited to do regular ninjutsu but can't do elemental jutsu. And Kano said, well then, let's fix this. For the rest of the day at the academy, while drives me the elders, Kano is teaching the class. And boy, did they need an overhaul. At the end of the day, everyone was complaining of being sore. And Kano said, the pain you feel now will help you in the long run. Besides, from what I understand, the Shinobi Council meddled in Shinobi affairs by affecting how the council the students graduate, thus making weaker ninja to protect the village. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if only one out of the supposed 10 teams that graduate each year will pass the actual true getting test. And before any student can ask, Kino holds up a hand saying, I'm not going to say anything about the test because it was secret for a reason. He said, then Kano looks over at Naruto. But you, my friend, even if you fail, you're still going to become a genin. At this, one of the biased shinobi whose father's in the council say, why does he get to graduate? And even if he fails, at this, Kano says, simple. Well, the civilian council have been intentionally sabotaging Naruto from the very start of his time at the academy. If he wasn't for that, he would have graduated the first time he tried to take the advanced test to pass. This, everyone goes wide-eyed. Now, interesting enough, from what I learned in history, a Team Guy, which is Tenten, Lee, and Neji, were the only ones to pass their year. Now, I always wondered why, so I looked a little bit of who was in the year. Basically, everyone but Neji was civilian. No other clans. So, I decided to make this interesting. And say, in fact, I can accurately predict that these three, as Kano was pointing to Tenten, Lee, and Neji, respectively, will be in the same team and pass the true test. As with how the Student Council has made the academy nowadays. At this, everyone goes wide-eyed. But Kano said, but if I'm able to, I will help you all. I will train you the best of my last 3 months of the academy. Naruto, though, is going to need an overhaul based on the sabotage. Mainly in chakra control. But when he's a shinobi, we're mainly focusing on that while he's doing D-rank missions. And Naruto is about to protest this now and says, Naruto, would you rather to spend 1 year as a genin under my tutelage, getting better control of your chakra, so that way you don't accidentally blow up your own teammates, and do D-rank missions, or do both D and C rank missions, some which you go out of the village to do? This Naruto just sighs and nods. Now, end of the day, everyone gets picked up by their parents. The civilians looked at Naruto with hate, but I just walked up by Naruto says, come Naruto, we shall continue your training in the Uzumaki arts. At this, everyone just stopped and stared, and Naruto says, Uzumaki arts? At this, Kano stops says, you should know about your clan, the clan you're from, Naruto. At this, everyone goes wide-eyed. Even the Hyuga member who came to pick up Neji from the branch family. And Naruto said, were you not informed of the Uzumaki clan? And Naruto shakes his head, and then Kano looks up to the student and says, any of you? And they all shake their heads. And Kano releases a bit of his killing intent and says, I'm going to rip the civilian council a bloody new one. Even if they don't approve my request to start my clan here, I'm still going to rip them a new one. But then Naruto calms him down and says, it's okay, Oni-chan. I can deal with it. And Kano looks at Naruto and says, you shouldn't have to deal without knowledge of your clan and beforehand, and little brother. Then, as they continue walking away, Kano stops and says, Lee? Rock Lee? Lee stood straight up. Tomorrow, is the weekend. Report to training. Head to training ground on at 7:30 a.m. sharp. Alright. Lee just nods his head. Yes, sensei. And as they can head to Naruto's apartment, Naruto asks, why are we heading to my apartment? And Kano sensei. Kano said, we're getting all your stuff out and moving into the Uzumaki compound. In fact, you should have been in the first place, Ace. But from what I gather, this villain council was stopping you from claiming your parents' inheritance. In fact, they are hoping the barriers that protected your family's compound would fail. Oh, well, you were 9. And then they would steal everything from it, everything of value. At this, Naruto got pissed, but then Kino said, the barriers would have failed had I not been sending clones with 3 years worth of chakra to power the barriers before dispersing. At this, Naruto says, thank you for protecting the clan estate. Right, Kano sensei. Kano just shakes his head saying, nah kid, you deserve it. Now then, let's get your stuff, move there, and begin your training. Now, for the rest of 3 months, Kano is basically training Naruto by himself in chakra control, manipulation, that stuff. There's no jutsu learning yet. Right, that can wait till part 3, which is going to be truly named Training and Progress. But this is part 2. I'm trying to basically make it to where 3 of 3 parts of this What If series basically has Kano interacting with Naruto before we get to the main Naruto storyline, essentially. Now, before anyone in the comments basically ask why am I doing this specifically, is because from what I understand, Naruto really hasn't gotten that much support until much later in his life. This way, Naruto should have the proper control that he should have had and training. But I will mention one thing. Naruto's taijutsu that he was taught, well, it's the Uzumaki taijutsu style, which is the whirlpool fist. And since Kano has that taijutsu style as one of the styles he knows, he trains Naruto specifically in that taijutsu style. And Naruto has basically gone tuning level mastery of that style. As well as Kano also puts a seal on the back of Naruto explaining that when you wear this, no one can use any means to copy your techniques when you use them. And Naruto didn't know why Kano did that, but it will be revealed much later in the story. Now, in the comments below, guys, what elements do you think Naruto has? I'll give you a hint. He has 2 of them. 1, he inherited that both his parents had as their weakest element, but the second element he inherited from one of his parents. It's in the comments. Give your guesses. Anyway, may the force be with you till all are one, and I hope to make another video soon, guys. With that, peace out. Booyah.